There's a belief many people hold once they pass the age of 60. You've probably heard it before. As long as I eat normally, that should be enough to stay healthy. Or sometimes people say, herbal remedies are just folk traditions. They're not really backed by science. But what if that belief is causing many people to overlook something important? What if it's leading them to miss natural biological tools that could help support the body as it ages? Over the past few years, several large-scale studies have started to catch the attention of scientists who study aging. One analysis from the Osher Center for Integrative Health at Harvard Medical School followed more than 32,000 middle-aged and older adults. The researchers found that the use of certain standardized herbal preparations was associated with noticeable improvements in cardiovascular markers and daily energy levels. Another study, conducted by the National University of Natural Medicine in the United States, looked at data from more than 20,000 adults over the age of 60 over a period of nearly 8 years. The results showed that people who used appropriate herbal support experienced lower rates of cognitive decline and less loss of physical mobility compared with those who did not. Now, these findings don't mean that herbs are some kind of miracle cure, but they do highlight something important. Some natural plant compounds appear to influence key biological processes involved in aging. For example, oxidative stress, when free radicals damage our cells; chronic low-grade inflammation, which is linked to heart disease, memory decline, and long-term fatigue. Certain herbs may help regulate these processes. Some may even support mitochondrial function, often described as the energy factories inside our cells. And what's interesting is that these benefits don't necessarily require complicated lifestyle changes or expensive treatments. Now imagine two different scenarios at the age of 80. One person remains mentally sharp, physically active, and able to take care of themselves, continuing to enjoy everyday life. Another person becomes much more dependent on medications and medical care, partly because of earlier declines in heart health, memory, and overall energy. Sometimes the difference between those two paths begins with small choices we make in how we support our bodies after the age of 60. In today's video, we're going to explore 6 herbs and natural plant compounds ranked according to how widely they're used in the scientific research available so far. These include herbs that may help support heart health and blood circulation, brain function and memory, mental energy as we age. And interestingly, the herb in the number 1 spot might surprise you, because it's actually a very common ingredient, something you may already have sitting in your kitchen right now. Near the end of the video, I'll also share one particularly interesting herb that researchers are studying for its potential ability to activate cellular protection pathways linked to healthy longevity. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you a quick question so we can get to know each other a little better. How old are you right now? And what aspect of your health matters most to you at this stage of life? Is it memory, heart health, energy levels, or sleep? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. It's a great way for us to build a community of people who care about healthy aging. Because once you understand the science behind some of these herbs, you may start to see aging in a very different way, not as something we have to fight against, but as something we can support more wisely and more naturally over time. Garlic, the quiet guardian of heart health. Many people still think of garlic as nothing more than a kitchen ingredient, something that adds flavor to food, but not something powerful enough to influence cholesterol or blood pressure. But researchers have found something interesting. When garlic is examined through the lens of modern biology, it shows measurable effects on the cardiovascular system, especially in adults over the age of 60. As we get older, changes in the arteries become more noticeable. After age 60, arterial stiffness can increase by roughly 15 to 20% per decade. Oxidative stress in the lining of the blood vessels begins to rise. Low-grade inflammation tends to last longer, and the ability of blood vessels to relax gradually declines. Over time, the heart has to work harder simply to circulate blood through the body. And this isn't just about LDL numbers on a lab report. It's about everyday life. It's about being able to walk 20 to 30 minutes without getting winded at age 75, climbing a flight of stairs without chest discomfort, and maintaining steady circulation well into your 80s. What does the science say? A 2016 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Nutrition reviewed 39 clinical trials involving more than 2,000 participants. Researchers found that garlic supplementation was associated with an average 10 to 12% reduction in LDL cholesterol. Among participants with hypertension, systolic blood pressure decreased by about 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury after 12 to 24 weeks. That level of reduction is considered clinically meaningful for cardiovascular risk. A 2020 review published in the journal Nutrients also reported that garlic, especially standardized garlic extracts, may modestly improve lipid profiles and help lower triglycerides. Some studies looking at aged garlic extract have also observed improvements in endothelial function, measured by how well blood vessels are able to dilate. The biological mechanisms behind it: garlic contains several sulfur-containing compounds. These include allicin, S-allocystine, and diallosulfides. Researchers believe these compounds may work through several pathways. They may help support nitric oxide production, which allows blood vessels to relax. They may help reduce oxidative stress in the vascular wall. They may mildly inhibit platelet aggregation, and they may influence the liver's cholesterol synthesis pathways. In other words, garlic may support not just the numbers on a lab test, but also the biological environment inside the blood vessels. Practical ways people include garlic. Some people choose to include garlic in simple ways. For example, adding 1 or 2 crushed cloves of fresh garlic to meals, using small amounts of black garlic, or choosing standardized aged garlic supplements. These approaches are generally used as supportive lifestyle strategies, not as replacements for prescribed treatments. If someone is already taking medications for blood pressure or cholesterol, it's important to consult a healthcare professional before making dietary or supplement changes. Supporting cardiovascular health early, especially after age 60, may help reduce the risk of future heart events and support long-term mobility and independence. After talking about garlic, a simple kitchen ingredient that may support healthy blood vessels, the next herb on our list works in a different way. Instead of focusing mainly on cholesterol, this one is often studied for its role in oxidative stress and blood circulation. Number 2, hawthorn, a longtime friend of the circulatory system. Many people think of hawthorn as just a wild berry. Some know it as an ingredient in herbal teas or fruit spreads. But in modern nutrition research, hawthorn, especially the species Crataegus monogyna, has drawn a lot of attention for its potential connection to heart health. A scientific review published in 2022 in the journal Plants looked closely at the chemical makeup of hawthorn. Researchers found that this plant contains more than 300 natural compounds. Many of them belong to groups called polyphenols and flavonoids, substances known for their antioxidant activity. Some of the most interesting compounds include rutin, a flavonoid that may help protect cells from oxidative stress and support healthy blood vessels; quercetin, a well-known antioxidant that has also been studied for its potential role in inflammation and lipid balance; procyanidins and catechins, which are plant polyphenols that help neutralize harmful free radicals. There are also phenolic acids, such as gallic acid and ferulic acid, which researchers often associate with anti-inflammatory and cardiovascular supportive effects. And hawthorn also contains carotenoids, including lutein and lycopene, which may help reduce oxidized cholesterol in the bloodstream. These compounds become especially important as we get older. After about age 60, oxidative stress inside the blood vessel walls often begins to rise. Over time, this can contribute to arterial stiffness and reduced endothelial function, meaning the blood vessels may not relax and expand as easily as they once did. The polyphenols in hawthorn may help by neutralizing reactive oxygen species, sometimes called ROS, which are molecules that can damage cells when they accumulate. Beyond its antioxidant activity, some studies also suggest that hawthorn may help support healthy blood pressure levels, improve circulation, normal heart function, and modest improvements in cholesterol and triglycerides. What's interesting is that when people think about protecting the heart, they usually focus on medications or broad dietary changes. But fewer people realize that certain polyphenol-rich plants, like hawthorn, may work through several biological pathways at the same time, helping with antioxidant defense, inflammation balance, and circulation. Because of this, hawthorn is increasingly studied as a functional food or a nutraceutical in modern nutrition science. In everyday life, hawthorn is commonly used in forms such as hawthorn tea, hawthorn syrups, or fruit spreads, dietary supplements made from hawthorn extract, or functional beverages. Researchers do point out that larger clinical studies are still needed to better understand optimal intake levels and long-term safety. But the research we have today highlights something fascinating. Nature contains many biologically active compounds that science is still learning about. And some of these compounds may support cardiovascular health in ways we are only beginning to understand. Now, while hawthorn stands out for its role in protecting blood vessels from oxidative stress, the next herb on our list works through another powerful pathway. It focuses strongly on reducing inflammation and oxidative damage. And that herb is turmeric, and its active compound, curcumin. Number 3, turmeric curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory shield for blood vessels. If hawthorn is known for helping protect blood vessels from oxidation, the herb in this position works a little differently. Instead of focusing mainly on oxidation, it works by calming inflammation in the blood vessels and activating the body's own antioxidant defense system. That herb is turmeric, curcuma longa, and its most studied active compound is curcumin. Now, many people think of turmeric as nothing more than a familiar yellow spice used in cooking. But in modern biological research, curcumin is considered a highly active polyphenol, especially when scientists study inflammation and the aging process inside the body. Several clinical studies suggest that curcumin may help reduce T-inflammatory markers. In one study that lasted 90 days, markers such as CRP, ESR, and ferritin dropped significantly in participants who took curcumin. These markers are commonly linked to chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind of slow, silent inflammation that researchers believe plays a major role in age-related cardiovascular disease. But what has really caught scientists' attention is how curcumin works inside the body. Curcumin has been shown to activate something called NRF2, a transcription factor that many researchers describe as the body's master switch for antioxidant protection. When NRF2 turns on, a whole group of protective genes begin working more actively. These include genes such as HO1, NQO1, and GST. Studies suggest that within about 4 to 6 hours after curcumin is consumed, the activity of these antioxidant genes can increase noticeably. This response may help reduce oxidative stress and protect cells throughout the body, including the endothelial cells that line the inside of our blood vessels. Curcumin has also been studied for its influence on gene expression through epigenetic mechanisms. Some human studies suggest that curcumin may reduce the activity of several enzymes, including HDAC1, HDAC2, HDAC3, and HDAC4. These enzymes are often associated with inflammation and the biological processes involved in aging. Interestingly, even though curcumin itself is not absorbed very easily through the digestive system, the body converts it into metabolites such as curcumin O-glucuronide. And those metabolites may still help activate the body's cellular protection pathways. Because of these biological effects, a number of studies suggest curcumin may help support lower LDL cholesterol levels, reduce vascular inflammation, and contribute to cardiovascular protection as we age. Today, curcumin is often available in different formulations designed to improve absorption. For example, curcumin combined with piperine from black pepper, micelle-based curcumin, and newer forms like nanocurcumin or liposomal curcumin. Of course, scientists emphasize that larger clinical trials are still needed to determine the most effective dosage and formulation. But the research we have today already highlights something important. Natural compounds found in plants are still being actively studied by modern science, and some of them may play a meaningful role in supporting cardiovascular health and healthy aging. And while turmeric mainly works by helping control inflammation and oxidative stress in blood vessels, the next group of herbs on our list focuses on a completely different organ that also plays a major role in aging: the brain. The first herb in that group is Ginkgo biloba, a plant long known for its potential to support brain circulation, memory, and mental focus. Many people still wonder about something. Can an herb really influence memory and brain function? For a lot of people, improving memory seems like something that only comes from mental exercises or prescription medications. But over the past few decades, one ancient plant has drawn serious attention from modern science. Number 4 on our list is Ginkgo biloba, sometimes called the brain's memory protector. Ginkgo biloba is one of the oldest tree species on Earth, and it has been used in traditional medicine for hundreds of years. Today, extracts from its leaves have become one of the most widely studied herbal compounds for brain health. A large scientific review published in 2016 in the journal Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience looked at multiple clinical trials involving a standardized extract known as EGB 761. The review suggested that ginkgo may help improve memory, attention, and information processing speed in some older adults experiencing mild cognitive decline. In several clinical studies, participants took 120 to 240 milligrams of EGB 761 each day for about 22 to 24 weeks. Researchers observed meaningful improvements in memory tests and cognitive performance compared with the control groups. One important point scientists emphasize is standardization. The benefits seen in studies are linked to standardized extracts because the levels of active compounds in natural ginkgo leaves can vary quite a bit if the extract isn't carefully prepared. What makes Ginkgo biloba especially interesting is that it doesn't work through just one single pathway. Instead, it appears to influence several biological systems in the brain at the same time. Ginkgo leaves contain a number of important active compounds. Among the most notable are flavonoids, including quercetin, camphorol, and isorhamnitin. These compounds are known as powerful antioxidants, helping protect nerve cells from damage caused by free radicals. Ginkgo also contains another group of compounds called terpenoids, including ginkgolides and bilobalide. Researchers believe these compounds may help protect neurons and support healthy blood circulation in the brain. Oxidative stress is considered one of the major factors involved in brain aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Some studies suggest that ginkgo may increase the activity of the body's natural antioxidant enzymes, including superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione. By strengthening these internal defense systems, ginkgo may help reduce damage to nerve cells. There is also evidence that these compounds may help protect the hippocampus, the part of the brain closely involved in memory and learning. Beyond its antioxidant role, Ginkgo biloba may also influence how brain cells survive and function. Some research suggests it may help reduce apoptosis, the process of programmed cell death, by lowering the activity of proteins such as caspase-3 and caspase-9. Ginkgo has also been studied for its potential anti-inflammatory effects in the brain. It appears to help regulate inflammatory signaling molecules such as IL-1 beta, IL-6, and TNF-alpha, which are often associated with the progression of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Another important mechanism involves blood circulation to the brain. Some studies suggest that ginkgo extract may help increase cerebral blood flow, which can improve the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to brain cells. This may be particularly important for older adults, since blood flow to the brain naturally declines with age. All of these mechanisms are closely tied to the cognitive abilities we rely on every day: remembering information, staying focused, and making decisions. Research on aging consistently shows that strong cognitive function is closely connected to maintaining independence and quality of life later in life. Some clinical trials involving EGB761 extract have also suggested potential benefits for people with mild to moderate memory impairment and Alzheimer's disease. However, scientists are careful to point out that larger and longer-term studies are still needed to fully confirm these effects and determine the most effective dosage. Even so, the research available today suggests something important. Ginkgo biloba is more than just a traditional herb. It has become a serious subject of modern scientific research in brain health and cognitive aging. But memory and brain circulation are only part of the story. On this list, there is another herb known for something a little different: supporting mental energy and helping reduce fatigue. That herb is ginseng, and that's the next fascinating plant we're going to explore. Number 5. Ginseng, a biological battery for the brain and mental energy. Many people believe that once you pass the age of 60, things like ongoing fatigue, lower energy, and a bit of memory decline are simply part of getting older. And when those changes begin, some people assume there aren't many natural ways to improve them. But over the past few decades, modern science has uncovered something rather interesting. Researchers have found that certain traditional herbs may actually influence the body's cellular energy systems and brain function. One of the most widely studied herbs in this area is ginseng, especially Panax ginseng. Ginseng has been used for thousands of years in traditional Asian medicine. But what really captures scientists' attention today is a group of active compounds found in ginseng called ginsenosides. These compounds belong to a class known as biological saponins, and they appear to play a central role in many of the effects associated with ginseng. Some of the best-known forms include RB1, RG1, RG3, and RE. Research suggests that these compounds can influence multiple biological systems in the body at the same time. For example, a study published in 2013 in the Journal of Ginseng Research followed hundreds of participants over several weeks while they used ginseng extract. The researchers found that people in the ginseng group reported lower levels of fatigue and noticeably better mental energy compared with those in the control group. Another study conducted at Northumbria University in the United Kingdom in 2010 produced similar observations. In that study, ginseng extract appeared to help improve cognitive performance and reduce feelings of mental fatigue, especially during long periods that required concentration. These findings become even more interesting when we look at the biology of aging. Studies on brain aging suggest that cellular energy levels and mitochondrial function can decline by as much as 30 to 40% as we get older. At the same time, oxidative stress in the brain tends to increase. These changes are believed to be one reason why many older adults experience fatigue, difficulty concentrating, or mild memory decline. Ginseng appears to support these processes through several different mechanisms. First, ginsenosides may help reduce oxidative stress in nerve cells, helping protect them from damage caused by free radicals. Second, ginseng may help regulate neuroinflammatory responses, which researchers increasingly believe are connected to age-related cognitive decline. Third, some studies suggest that ginseng may help support energy metabolism within cells, allowing the body to use energy more efficiently and helping reduce feelings of exhaustion. Ginseng is also often classified as an adaptogen. Adaptogens are herbs believed to help the body adapt more effectively to physical and mental stress. In other words, instead of simply providing a short burst of stimulation, ginseng may help the body restore balance across several systems related to energy and resilience. When these mechanisms work together, the effects may become noticeable in everyday life. People may experience things like more stable energy throughout the day, better focus while reading or doing mental tasks, less fatigue after normal daily activities, and support for memory and information processing. For older adults, improvements in these areas can make a meaningful difference. They can help support independence, mental engagement, and overall quality of life. Because of this, ginseng today is no longer viewed only as a traditional herbal remedy. It has also become an important subject of modern scientific research related to cellular energy, fatigue, and brain health during aging. And while ginseng stands out for its ability to support mental energy and reduce fatigue, the final herb on today's list focuses even more strongly on long-term memory and the protection of nerve cells. That herb is Bacopa, sometimes known as water hyssop. It's a plant that is attracting growing attention in scientific research for its potential role in supporting memory and cognitive function. Number 6. Bacopa, the brain's memory keeper. The final herb in our group of plants that support brain health and memory is Bacopa monnieri, sometimes known as water hyssop. Bacopa is considered one of the most notable herbs studied for cognitive health, especially when it comes to age-related memory decline. Interestingly, Bacopa is not a new discovery at all. In the traditional Indian system of medicine known as Ayurveda, this plant has been used for hundreds of years as a natural nootropic. Nootropics are substances believed to support brain function, memory, and the ability to learn. Today, modern science is paying growing attention to Bacopa as researchers continue exploring its effects on cognitive performance. Several studies involving both adults and older individuals suggest that Bacopa extract may support different aspects of cognitive function. Researchers have observed potential improvements in areas such as learning new information, maintaining long-term memory, and processing information more efficiently. Behind these potential benefits are several important biological compounds found within the plant. Among the most significant are a group of compounds called bacosides, particularly bacoside A and bacoside B. These compounds are believed to play a central role in how Bacopa affects the nervous system. In addition to bacosides, Bacopa also contains a variety of other natural substances, including flavonoids, alkaloids, and saponins. Together, these compounds form a complex biological system that may help support healthy brain activity. Research suggests that Bacopa may help protect nerve cells through several different mechanisms. First, it may help reduce oxidative stress in the brain, which can limit damage to nerve cells caused by free radicals. Second, Bacopa may help moderate neuroinflammation, a process that scientists increasingly believe is connected to age-related cognitive decline. Bacopa may also influence certain neurotransmitter systems, including those related to dopamine. Dopamine is an important chemical involved in learning, memory, and mental focus. When these mechanisms work together, Bacopa may help support long-term memory, mental focus and concentration, protection against age-related cognitive decline. For many older adults, improvements in these areas can make a meaningful difference. They may help support mental clarity, the ability to keep learning, and a better quality of life as we grow older. Conclusion: after the age of 60, the body doesn't just need more energy. It also needs smarter ways to support long-term health. Natural herbs such as garlic, hawthorn, turmeric, ginkgo, ginseng, and bacopa remind us of something important. Nature still offers a rich source of biological compounds that may help support heart health, brain function, and overall energy. At the same time, the most important foundations of healthy aging are still quite simple. Things like a balanced and nutritious diet, gentle, regular physical activity, getting enough sleep, and routine health checkups. Herbal remedies can certainly serve as helpful natural tools, but they tend to work best when they're part of a healthy lifestyle overall. Before we wrap up today's video, I'd really like to hear from you. Are you currently using any herbs to support your health? Feel free to share your experience in the comments so others in the community can learn from it as well. And if you found this video helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with friends or family members, especially those who are paying closer attention to their health after the age of 60. If you'd like to keep learning, our next video will explore something interesting. We'll talk about 6 herbs for adults over 60 that may help reduce joint discomfort, support digestion, strengthen the immune system, and ease inflammation naturally. Thanks for spending some time with us today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.